Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Romance Nights. We are your hosts, Colleen.
And I'm Marjorie. Today's episode, we have new adult contemporary romance author Leila James. She writes emotional, angsty, and swoon-worthy new adult romances with lots of unique characters and plot twists. Her goal is to keep you up past your bedtime, turning the pages of her books. She resides in Virginia with her husband and two children. Welcome to the Unfiltered Romance Nights podcast, and we are excited to have you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and also belated happy birthday. I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
That was an amazing video that Shauna, was it Shauna that sent you?
It was something else. So it was a collaboration. My PA, Savannah, and Shauna thought it would be a really cool idea. And so Savannah had reached out to Eric, aka Bear, and she knew she could probably get him to do that. I don't know. We chit chat sometimes. He's really taken on the personality of Bear. He owns it. It's all good. But then they were trying to get some others, and they weren't having a lot of luck. And so that's when they actually reached out to Michelle Lancaster, who took the photos. And she, I don't know what she did, but we got all but one, and it was only because he was he works in a mine, so he literally was unreachable. God. So, yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was awesome because Kolleen told me, he's like, "Hey, did you see that video?" I was like, "No, I haven't been on social media," so I was just like,
"Oh yeah,"
stalking your profile over there, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
I kept that on a loop. I was like, just one more time.
Man, let me tell you, I'm gonna watch it every birthday, and probably 30 times in between.
We'll just repost it when it's around that time again. Be like, hey,
sure.
So before we take a deep dive into your books, we have a few questions to get to know you better.
Okay. Oh boy.
We'll start off light.
Okay.
So how did you get into writing? Has this always been your career, or did you have another profession?
I did have another profession. I taught high school Spanish for 7 years. So that was fun while it lasted. Then I had a couple of kids, and we realized that my full-time income was going to get completely sucked up by daycare for two in the area we lived in. And so we thought, well, maybe we'll move. And that's when we moved from the Northern Virginia area down to Harrisonburg around that area where James Madison University is. That's where my husband and I both went to school. So it was just and his parents were down here. Of course, my parents then followed, as did my brother. So everybody's down here. Anyways, I'm being long-winded on your answer here. I also sold Pampered Chef products for 14 years in between there while the kids were growing up. And then unfortunately I had some back problems. I had surgery, and then I was in a car accident, and it jacked me up good. So, of course that was like demonstrating cooking tools and lugging heavy bags around and twisting and turning and moving. And I couldn't do it at that point. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to figure something else out. And I kind of had it in my head that, maybe someday I'd like to write something. So when I was 44 years old, I decided to try something new, and it's taken off.
Sure has.
So, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, do you have any hobbies to help you unwind, or if you need a break from writing that you do?
It's funny. You probably could have done well to ask my PA what questions to ask me, because she's always nagging me about working too much. And would you please just put the computer down, go relax, go do something. I'm a little bit of a workaholic. I tend to get up early. And, sometimes I'm writing early, but other times it's just admin stuff. signed books that I need to get signed and shipped and just all kinds of stuff like that. So if I had a hobby, I mean, it's probably dorky for the author to say, but I'm reading.
Yeah, right. I know.
So I read my own book like 20 million times, and then I read a little bit of something else, and then I fall asleep. So, um, yeah, I mean, I enjoy movies and stuff like that too. My husband is a big movie buff, so we watch a lot of movies. But other than that, I like to travel, I guess. We just, in last year, this time we were in Norway.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was
Oh,
fun. Yeah, but I've traveled quite a bit, and his work, he's traveling sometimes, and sometimes now, of course, especially now that the kids are actually in college, and so I just pick up and go with them,
oh,
and I can write on the road if I have
True.
to or want to.
Yeah.
Um,
that's
Well,
awesome.
goal for 2025, get a hobby. Even if it's for 30 minutes a day.
mhm.
I'll talk to Savannah about that. I think you and I
All right,
were on Shauna's team at one point. I used to be on Shauna's street art
like
team.
her
Yeah.
ARC team, I was likely in
Oh, okay.
there.
Yeah, you were.
Hmm. Yeah, Shauna and I both, well, I was writing probably well before she was, but we both started writing kind of darker
Mm.
books around the same time, and that's how I met her. So I don't doubt that you saw me in her group
Yeah.
at the very least at that point. Yeah.
Well, since you said you like TV and movies, what is your favorite TV show or series?
Why do you
Because we're
do
getting to
this to
know
me?
you.
Oh my God. I do tend to like, I don't know, probably stuff with younger characters, which
Same.
is what I write as
Mm.
well. So, like, it kind of makes sense. I'm a Gilmore Girls
Yes.
fan. My daughter and I have watched like five full, the whole thing like five times. I like stuff like Pretty Little
It's a
Liars.
good one.
You know,
Gossip Girl.
what's yes, I
Yeah,
loved
yeah, me
Gossip
too.
Girl. That's one that I watched when my children were pretty young, probably under 10
Yeah.
years old. And like I would watch it on my iPad while I was doing the dishes so that they couldn't really, and with my headphones in, so they couldn't really hear what was going on. But yeah, all those. My husband and I are watching Suits right now, and I
Oh,
really like that one too. You know, that one's a little bit different for me, but that's one that he'll actually watch with me.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. My husband watches that, and so sometimes I'll kind of watch it, but then I'll fall asleep. So I'll be like asking him questions,
Hmm.
and he'll be just like, "Stop, just don't watch it."
Would you just please wake up and watch?
Yes.
Right? I do that too. I fall asleep.
Oh, well, so when you decided to write romance novels, what was
Mhm.
your inspiration, and like the very first book that you wrote, did it get published, or you just like
Yeah. So, I don't know where the inspiration for it came from. I originally actually started writing more small town
Mhm.
romance.
Oh.
Um, Definitely a little, I wouldn't say, well, a little bit less spicy than what I write now, but the characters were definitely mostly
Mm-hmm.
nice
Okay.
people. And honestly, a lot of my characters now are nice. You just have to get through all the crap before they get nice with each other. Um, but I tend to be a plotter. So like I was thinking about these characters and I really wanted to write something that was kind of, it was like built around a family because I tend to, some of the books that I like to read are like a group of brothers or siblings or whatever. And I thought that would be fun to do. So I just made up some characters in my head and off I went. And the first book, I was like, whatever, nobody's probably never gonna read this. And I distinctly remember the day that my family realized that I was trying to write a book because I hadn't just out and said anything. My daughter came home, she would have been in eighth grade, I think. she came home and she comes up behind me. And I was on the laptop just, and she goes, "Are you writing a book?" And I was like, don't look at what I'm writing. And I don't even think it was anything bad, but I was just like, no, because I was nervous to have anybody look at it. And I actually, like, I didn't do anything like alpha readers, beta readers, or even ARC readers. The first, I don't know, probably dozen plus books. The only people that would see it before I released it were my editor and my proofreader. So I was nervous, but yeah, I did publish back in August of 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's been just over 5 years now. Leila's only existed since 2021, January of 2021.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
So you were publishing it under a different...
I was. I'll tell you who it's Amanda Bailey. Some of them are right there. Okay. I wrote 22 books before I realized it wasn't working in the genre I was in.
Oh, okay.
So I was really, I guess, cutting my teeth a little bit on the lighter stuff. And then I was like, you know what? This is really hard to bust into just straight contemporary. And I was just having one heck of a time with it. So I was like, you know what? Can't hurt to try something different. So I created my pen name, and way more successful right off the bat, which is it's like my poor first babies. All 22 of them. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, but they just did not do nearly as well as the newer stuff has.
Yeah.
So.
But you found your niche?
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully. I think so. I mean, it seems like it.
Yeah. How does your friends and family feel about you writing the darker, spicier romances?
That's funny. You should ask that too. So first, hopefully my mother-in-law never sees this because she doesn't know.
She doesn't? That's so funny.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
No. So, I told my husband right away what I was doing, and he was like, what the heck is bully romance? Because when I did Rosehaven Academy, was the first of the Leila series that I did, he was like, what do you mean bully? I'm like, well, they're kind of mean to her at first. And then it's usually for a reason though. I don't just do weird, I mean, there's always a purpose behind it. He's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. My children know that I write darker now. Obviously, they see what's behind me all the time. So they have somewhat of a clue. I would say some of my friends followed me from Amanda to Leila, and some did not continue on, and that's okay. That's their prerogative. They're missing out.
They are.
Right?
That's okay. Yeah, and then my mother was the funniest. So my dad passed away the year before probably actually 6 months before I started writing under Leila. And that's actually, his name is actually James. So that's where my last name and my pen name comes from. But he loved my books. He was probably my biggest fan. He read every single one of those Amanda books, and he was always wanting to talk publishing with me. So he thought that was really cool. He also wanted me to write a sci-fi, but yeah, that was never going to happen, Dad. Yeah, and so he passed away, and then I did start writing a little bit darker, and I did not tell my mother or my in-laws for the longest time, and I still haven't told my in-laws. I'm like,
no.
Please stop reading. And they were all reading. That was the problem. I was like, you know what?
You can't.
It's bad enough you're reading the sexy scenes in the sweeter book, but you really, you don't want to.
No, especially your mother-in-law. She'd be like, how does she know about that?
Right.
Right? I was like, oh, this is just bad. And she's a big reader. So I have no doubt she would pick it up and read it. And I'm like, just no. But after a while, my mother had been kind of like my second set of proofreading eyes, because she reads super slowly, but she's one of those people that reads every single word. So she would catch a missed word here and there, and she'd be like, you need to fix this.
Oh,
And so when I stopped writing as Amanda, she was like, what's going on? Have you stopped writing? And I was like, crap. And so I finally told her, but I told her she wasn't allowed to read them. So has she? I don't know. I mean, she's got her own Kindle. I have no idea.
So you guys don't talk about it if she did or she doesn't.
Oh, I'm definitely, if she's read them, I don't know about it, and that's the way I choose to.
She's gonna come to you and be like, "Oh, have you ever read this Leila James?"
Yeah, she does know the pen name.
Oh, okay.
I finally told her the pen name, which she loved that I had included my dad's name.
Awesome.
So that I guess I was forgiven for that. I don't know, but yeah. Who knows what she actually thinks?
Hey, she might have, like, before you told the pen name, she might have picked it up, or before,
right?
without,
Who knows? Because I mean, she mostly reads like Scottish Highland romances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of her jam.
So typically in a year, how many books do you release?
So I used to release a lot, like probably one per month.
Wow.
Writing early on, I was also writing shorter books, probably like 55 to 65,000 word books. So like around the 200-page mark, so a shorter romance. And I could pop one of those off every 3 weeks, send it through editing, and then I'd be releasing it. So the first several years, I probably did 12, 13, depending. And then the year that I was crossing over from Amanda to Leila, I released 15 books.
Oh, wow.
And I about killed myself doing it. Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, it was a lot. And it was just one of those things. I was trying to decide, okay, am I dropping the nice pen name? Am I like, and you can still find that pen name. There's a reader group for that pen name out there still, and we don't post very much in it, but yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, how do I do this and maintain both and keep everybody happy? And it was way too much. So I think I had probably, I want to say it was around the time that I was releasing the Shadow River Elite series. I was also releasing Brookhaven Blues, which was my last, it was like a cop series in the sweeter one. And so I finished up with both of those series, and then I was just like,
done.
That's it. Amanda, you're done. Which enabled me to then move on. So let me finish your question here. I had been doing like 6, 7, 8 books a year since I started releasing the Kingston University series, but the books are way longer. They're more like 95 to 115,000 words, so they're twice as long. They're way more, dark is more difficult for sure for me to write. Get it climbing into some of those heads. I'm like, what the heck must you be thinking? Like, what is your reasoning for acting like this? And like, it's hard to figure out. And then the plots are just way more complex. Finishing up with the Kingston University series and combining all of that really just, it was a lot. My whiteboard was a mess. There were lines, people everywhere, and it was just nuts. So like this year, I think, how many have I released this year? Beckham, Wilder. I'm probably only going to end up with 3 this year. Beckham, Wilder, and then This Is War comes out next Monday.
Next Monday, okay.
Yep. I won't quite get the second part, This Is Love. I think it'll be written, so I'll have written 4, but I don't think I'll release that one until January.
Gotcha. I have time to catch up to that one.
Yeah, no, I do. So in order to get these books done, do you have to have a specific routine that you set for yourself every day, or are you more of a I'll just write when I'm in the mood? I know you're a workaholic, so you probably are always writing.
Yeah, I write pretty much every day. I use this website. It's called like Pacemaker or
Mm,
something like that. And it allows you to like put in like a start date and an end date, a word count that you want the book at, and then you can also like adjust for things like there's no way I'm writing on a release day
yeah,
probably, so I've got it set to 0 from this coming Monday. I had it set to 0 all last weekend because I was at that signing. So like, and then it'll tell you appropriately how many words you need to finish per day in order to finish by your deadline, which sometimes it works and sometimes I screw up. So uh, occasionally the words just don't want to come. And I'm starting to learn that, after 46 books, that you have to just give yourself some grace because burnout is no joke. I feel like I burned out a little bit after
oh,
Wilder, and so I've slowly been coming back. That's why it's been a little ways since I've released anything. Um, but yeah, it's it's no joke. Sometimes your brain no worky anymore.
yeah,
That's a
I
lot,
would
four to
imagine.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Um,
So
I'm boggled. 46. That's a lot.
yeah,
No, just,
I'm already do well, and I should say I'm actually in the middle of number 47 and number 48 right now.
Oh,
So
you don't stop.
I'm writing kind of in. No, I really don't give myself a break, and that's probably
Yeah.
the issue. Like I just go, 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 go. Part of it's like editing deadlines. My editor is really in demand, so and I refuse to do a book without her. So yeah, so we've had to adjust because she used to just give me 12 slots on her
oh,
calendar. Can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. So now we've got like 4 set slots for this coming year. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm finishing This Is Love, and then I have a secret release that is coming up. That's a co-written book.
mm.
Ooh, that should release probably. We were hoping this fall, but I think it's going to be this or probably early this spring, maybe even this winter,
Oh, okay.
um, somewhere in there.
Oh, exciting.
Which that'll be different. It's probably the darkest book I've ever
Ooh,
had a hand in.
Ooh,
that's what I like
that's
to hear.
exciting. Right. The darker, the better.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. We threw some alpha readers for a loop a couple of times. We warned them, but sometimes you don't hit all the warnings and what you think, and
Oh,
so
right.
that's really good. That's why we have alpha readers, because sometimes what we don't think is gonna be a problem is a problem, and the things that we think are going to be problems, they're like, oh, that was funny. So yeah,
That's so
that'll
true.
be fun. So
You don't even know, you
mhm,
never know what's going to be a trigger. So when it says trigger warning, just
you
say
don't.
yes, all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything.
There's bound to be something in there, and like you said, I just can't know. I put a page at the front of my ebooks and a page at the front of my paperbacks that gives the link to my website where
Yeah,
all of my content warnings are. And that way people have a chance to look at it. And the thing literally says, content warning, please, this is a dark book. Check out the warnings if you're unsure.
Yeah.
And hopefully people, they read
Yeah.
responsibly. So
I don't read
oh, I'm
trigger
excited.
warnings, so, but it's
Yeah, no,
just
I don't like I mean,
personal.
for myself, I don't read them at all. I don't really have triggers though.
right,
So, I mean, but I know not
Right.
everybody is like that.
It's
So
true.
we put them there for the people who need them,
right.
and it's about all we can
Right.
do.
Yeah. Um. So, out of all of the books that you read, what book would you say was the most difficult to write?
Oh God. Mm. Well, I had a little bit of a meltdown writing Beckham.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, I don't. there was just a little bit of a disagreement in how things should go. We had some issues. I made it what I thought I needed it to be, and that's all I could do. And then wrapping up Wilder was exceedingly difficult as well, because it's basically even though it's 3 separate trilogies, it was really the culmination of a 9-book
Oh,
series that was just huge. And I intertwined all of the stories. It was all done on like concurrent
oh,
timelines. So from like late August to early October of that school year for each of those fraternities and each of those girls who was getting mixed up with these
Right.
jerks. So yeah, and the stories all ended up being intertwined in a way that I actually didn't see coming until it all came together.
hmm. Well, we just finished The Brothers of Hawthorne Hall. So we're like newbies. We're not that deep yet. And I don't know why the fuck I waited so long, but I did. I should have read this already. Um, so we've only met Archer, Cannon, and Kingston,
Kingston.
right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those three,
You've
I'm going to put you on the spot.
okay.
Who is your favorite?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Are we talking?
Just those three.
Just
I know. Are we talking cover models or
No.
characters?
okay. I mean, how about one of each? Like,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Uh, I would probably actually say Kingston across the board, but I have a mega soft spot for Archer.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
I just love him.
what he went through. Oh my
Um,
God. I didn't see that coming.
I just love him. Yeah, I didn't really either. Not for a little while. Like some of these things just hit me. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
why did that just get written like that? Why did you write that? I'm like, I guess it's going to come out later. My brain will tell me when it's
As
time to bring it out.
yeah, and as sad
Um,
as it was, it worked though, like it just worked for his
mhm.
personality.
Yeah. Now, did you read the epilogue that you could
Oh
download?
no.
So you need to read
Okay.
that because he'll get his.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
we won't say anymore,
Okay.
but he gets to make that all come full
Good.
circle, and yeah, I
All
won't say
right.
anything
I'm
more.
gonna do that
But
when we're
yeah, you
done.
should definitely pull that down. It's like 6,000 words, maybe like three chapters. I give each character a chapter, so it's four like
Okay.
1,500
I'm gonna
word
do that
little
right after
chapters.
this.
Yeah, yeah. And then did you know that technically you have met more of the characters?
Yes. And
It's those
like how are you gonna
bastards.
make them redeemable, those MFs? Because
Right? How the heck?
what stood out for you on that? Because I'm like, wait, what? And then the girl, I have a feeling I'm gonna see her
Mhm.
again. The girl that was
Oh, the
yeah,
girl that was at
yeah.
the event at Bainbridge Hall. Yeah, you're
I
going to see
figured.
her again. That would be the
I
FMC
figured.
for the second series.
She was
Hmm.
texting me. She's like, "You need to hurry up with reading," and I was like,
I know. I was like,
"Why?"
oh
She's
shit,
like, "She's like,
I'm
you're not
stressed
gonna
out.
like, you're not gonna like the next set of guys," and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah,
Like,
and everybody, of course, hated them because of what they pulled at that
Right.
particular event. We won't discuss
No.
it, just in case there's people out there who haven't read. Um, but I will tell you, you will get to see that particular auction scene, portions
From
of
a
it
different.
from the other
Okay.
perspective. So you'll understand what's happening throughout it. Um, and you might hate Mason at first. But I think you're going to love Bear. Just there he is right over my
I am.
shoulder.
I'm just like, I
yeah,
mean,
that's a good bear.
Yeah,
That's a great.
even though he was a little gruff and mean and whatever, you will love him.
Good.
And then Duke, you will probably hate a little bit at first too, but I swear you'll come around to all
I'm
three
sure
of
I
them
will.
for sure.
I'll say
Yep.
Cannon is my favorite. I don't know why, but I freaking love
Yep.
him.
You aren't alone in that. A lot of people love Cannon. He was tricky to write because of the whole nonverbal
Yeah.
thing. At one point, I was getting ready to release the book, and the ARC readers were going through, and I missed it. Alpha readers missed it. Critique partners missed it. My editor missed it. Cannon actually said something in that first book, and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, "He's not supposed to say anything." I took it out.
Oh,
It's
the
no longer
same.
there. I
Okay.
removed it before I published, but it did not get caught until the arc phase
Oh,
that I accidentally had him say something. And
Oh.
I was like, "Oh,
no.
you didn't. He's not supposed to say anything."
Yeah.
But yeah, he is a good character. And like, we won't say why he's not speaking, but if you look carefully at the covers, if you recall, like each of them has something particular about them on their covers
Oh,
that have
yeah.
to
They got
do with
Yes.
the book.
Yeah.
suspenders. Cannon's got his hand in his mouth.
Hmm.
And then the neck, is it a necklace, right? Yeah. For Kingston.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the
That's
necklace
what
for
it was.
Kingston. Cannon also has a piece of jewelry that you should look more carefully at.
I'm gonna look later. I have the
Oh,
both.
this? The bracelet?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in the middle of canon, so
Which
I'm like,
you can't tell what it is from the picture, but that's where it came from.
Yeah.
The idea for it. So yeah, when I thought to do that character, I was like, this ought to be interesting. I was like, and then I was like, oh crap, what have you done? This is so hard.
yeah.
But
Um,
it
yeah.
worked out.
I mean, I love all of the guys because she was like, I think it's like, so who do I think she said told me she's like, I think I know who you're gonna like, and I says like, I actually love all of them like
Hmm.
equally. Well, Kingston is still kind of like ahead, but then
Oh, okay.
Archer and Cannon are kind of like in the same right
Yeah.
now. So I said, well, let's wait until I finish the whole thing and then see if it will update.
Hmm.
But right now, I kind of like Kingston. I mean, I know he's
Well, I mean, if you like Kingston now, you're gonna probably stay Kingston. That would be
Yeah.
my guess. Um, Sometimes the people who don't like him at first do come around to him, and I was actually really surprised. The two signing events that I was at this summer, I had banners for one for Kingston and one for Bear, and it was a pretty even split who was going wanting their pictures taken with Bear versus Kingston, which I was actually surprised because a lot of people are Bear
oh,
fans, but apparently a lot of people are also big Kingston
I don't
fans. So
remember,
I wish I could have banners for all of them. That would be
Yeah.
so
right?
fun.
I don't remember which one I took with you. If it was Kingston or Bear.
I
I
feel
just
like it was
okay.
Kingston.
Like I'll have to look at my
I
pictures.
seem to
Yeah.
recall. Yes. Yeah, I took a lot of Kingston photos at that one. It was actually heavier Kingston a little bit at
I mean,
Sinners and Stardust. So
they're great models, but I mean, like, I'm like drooling on the covers. I was like, these
yes,
are amazing covers. Of course,
Yes.
like
thank you.
I don't show my husband because he'll be like, really, like just go away, like leave my books alone.
That's right. Don't pay attention.
Right, so we're gonna put you on another spot again.
Okay.
So,
Uh-oh.
if you had to choose, which series would be your favorite?
Okay, so and you're limiting me to the trilogies separately. Is that what you're
Yes.
trying to say? Mm, that is a rough one. I mean, I'd probably go with Hawthorne Hall simply because it was the launching point and that's what everything else was kind of based around. Um, I do feel like the Bastards don't get as much love as the other two series right
Mm,
now. Might be because the third one is newer, so like I hear more about it. Although I will say at the signing this weekend, that's what sold out was the Bastards. So maybe it's people who have read Hawthorne and went for them. I would probably say Hawthorne Hall, but I think possibly my strongest writing has been in the most recent one. So yeah, I think the Sin Boys, I was doing some pretty good work there.
Now, I noticed that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but all of your covers tend to be the male models or female, whatever. So model covers, I should say.
Mhm.
Now,
Yes.
do you tend to go with one particular photographer, or is it like, do you scour the internet and find out who that person's photographer?
Yeah. So I do have some discrete
Do you?
covers,
Okay.
but they're a little hard to find. I feel like Amazon's a pain in the
Mm.
butt. So they have I do have the Hawthorne Hall ones are like lion heads.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're actually really cool covers, and Shauna did those. And then the discretes for the Bastards are like architectural, kind of dark, and they've got like pink titles. They're really cool looking, and Shauna did those too. Um, but yeah, so when I first started, I would do stock
Ah,
photos. So Rosehaven Academy are all stock. They are people covers though. And then Shadow River Elite are also, so I just recently pulled the man chest covers of Shadow River Elite and put up the new ones that look a little bit
okay.
darker, I think, and more they're more on genre. They probably could have been done better the first time, but like not really a baby author, but I just hadn't figured out what to do for a darker genre yet. But so now it's all nine of those that you've seen are all Michelle Lancaster photo images. So and then the one for This Is War is also Michelle's photo,
Oh,
and it's Lori Jackson um, doing the cover design. And we also have the co-written one is also one of her photos. So I've kind of been a Michelle Lancaster convert. I'm like a fangirl.
she's got a lot of good
Uh,
models, I'll tell you
She
that.
does.
just a tiny bit obsessed with
Yeah.
her. So yeah, yeah.
I love seeing her post when she does on Instagram. I was just like, oh
Every
my god, like,
I literally just looked through a 2000 photo shoot at someone that she just shot. I was like, oh my God, there are so many good images. And then I don't know how to choose. It's awful. And it's the hardest part of my job. I'm telling
So
you,
hard.
choosing.
it is.
And I sit there and I scour them, and occasionally I'll ask for one that I maybe don't even intend to use just because I want to look. And I'll tell you which one in particular. There's one that I'm thinking of. It was the Andy Murray, who is Kingston,
Ah,
and Lockie Carey, who is Duke
okay.
in the second trilogy. They did a photo shoot, and I was like, I
What?
don't think I'm doing but I gotta see this.
Oh, ooh,
And
now.
it was so cute though, because like she puts up all the images, and like some of them they're like laughing because they're just they can't
Mm.
stop. They're just like, oh my gosh, this is funny.
Oh,
But yeah, it
Oh.
was, and there are definitely some, I think maybe two books, not mine, darn, that have those images on them, but they're really nice covers. So I was like, well, that's always fun to look
yeah.
at. But yeah,
Now I
so
have to find that now. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think of who snagged those. I feel like two of them went, and then it was a very limited shoot too, and I think it was because they had trouble doing
Because they're
it.
just like laughing.
It was very few photos to choose from, and the ones that were the best ones, I do feel like, are the ones that were
Yeah.
used. So I was like, okay, fine. Maybe someday we'll get them to do it again. I don't know. We'll see.
That's interesting. So now that you have to like kind of like almost have to write one just
Right. So I mean, I came a little bit closer with this one because this is MMF instead of Why Choose. So yeah,
interesting.
I like the MM. I'm not
What
even
is, I
sorry
know
about it.
why. Like, why do we do that? Like, isn't that crazy?
I don't know.
So
I
hot.
think drawing that like emotion and vulnerability out of men, especially when they're like the kind of men that I tend to
The
write,
alpha.
they're kind of, yeah. And so that coming out of them, like, man, it's something.
Mm.
I'm always just like, whew, okay.
I mean, I agree. I've read like like the MMMF. Like, there's always like a female, but there's everybody's in a relationship
Hmm.
together, and majority of them are alpha males. And but then you get
Hmm.
that like the male on male and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Hmm.
It's still,
Mhm.
but you don't
Yeah,
look at them like they're not alpha. So
right. Yep.
very interesting. Um, so how do you choose the songs for the playlist for your books?
Oh, my
Yeah.
playlists. Um, a lot of times people will send me
Oh,
songs. Shauna,
mhm.
who is my work
Yeah.
wife, she's big into music. And she will send me stuff that she thinks is appropriate because she's there. She helps me plot a lot. Like she's my sounding board when I can't figure something out. And so she'll send me songs that go with what I'm doing. But like a lot of times it's just like songs that I've used previously. And then, like, you know how you let it play through the
Mhm.
playlist and then it starts playing other random
Mhm.
crap? I'll start listening and I'm like, oh,
Ah,
well, that goes real
Yeah.
well. And what I did this year is I just kept shoveling them into a 2024 playlist. And then because I already had Wilder's playlist done, but I started shoveling the rest of what I was doing into the 2024 one. And then if it fits with what I'm writing, I keep it and I add it to the playlist for each book that I'm writing. And if it doesn't fit, then I move it along, either just completely delete it or move it
Yeah.
to another
yeah.
playlist. So now my 2024 playlist is gone because it got split up between the two
Oh,
books that I've been writing.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can find ones for both This Is War and This Is Love up on
Oh,
Spotify right now.
awesome. I like
Yeah,
that.
they're both up there.
Yeah, I like that a lot authors seem to be doing that now. Like, I could read, I
Mhm.
don't necessarily listen to music, but I like the option. Um
Right.
Now, for anyone that's brand new to you who might be listening to this, is there any recommended reading order that you would suggest?
Um, so first I would need to know like if they read Why Choose or if they read strictly MF, something like that. If they only read MF, I would actually suggest they do Shadow River
Mm.
Elite because those are 3 MF pairings. Um, if you will read MM, Rosehaven Academy does have an MM. It's like in, oh God, it's in number book 7 and 8. I wrote those in a duet format.
Mm.
There's 5 duets that are all part of that series. And then there's actually a prequel, which is technically a prequel because the prequel happened 2 years prior, but I actually think it's better read at the end of the
Oh,
series
okay.
after you already know these
Mhm.
characters because you see what they were like the previous year and you're like, oh, haha, that's funny. Because the that book really doesn't center around those main 10 characters. It is some side characters who end up in Shadow River Elite.
Oh.
So you can go through and start at the beginning of Savage Rose all the way at the beginning and go through and then prequel and then Shadow River Elite. If you're going to do Why Choose, which I mean, that's my most popular series would be Kingston University. So there's the 3 trilogies, and you guys are doing it right so far. You got Brothers of Hawthorne Hall, Bastards of Bainbridge Hall, and Brutal Boys of Sin, which of course stands for Sigma Iota Nu.
Okay.
Sin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the one that I'm writing right now is completely, it's not connected to any of them. Yeah. There is a slight Easter egg in, I'm trying to think, it's in one of the Brutal Boys of Sin ones that the female character's brother attended Shadow River University.
Oh, okay.
Which is in the other book. So just the tiniest of links. But I couldn't resist. Yeah. I can't resist. I can't write a standalone to save my life.
I was going to ask that, like if there's any, like if they're kind of all interconnected at some point, some way.
Yeah. Yeah. They kind of all, I mean, if you count that, then they're all connected, with the exception of this newest series. But who knows if I'll connect that one to the other ones. You just never know. I mean,
because you still have the book too, right?
That's right. I still have the second book, so you never know what's going to come out of that second book. I mean, it could be something as simple as like maybe because the boys from this new duet are both baseball players, so it could be as simple as Evermore University playing Kingston University in baseball. I mean, none of our guys out of the 9 are baseball players, but Kingston University could easily pop up and be a name in the book.
They could attend and watch. Idea. I don't know. Yeah.
That's right. They might travel to Kingston University and have a baseball game. You never know.
That would be funny to like actually see it. Like once you publish, it's like, oh wait, look at that. She did. Right. She included that.
I remember. Look at that. She did that. It came up on the podcast. Yay.
Okay, so is it easy or difficult for you to write the spicy scenes?
They're my favorite thing to write. I will get. You can ask. So, like, I have an ARC team, of course, but then part of that ARC team is also street team. So they also do like promo and stuff for me, and we have a street team chat, which occasionally goes off the rails. Yeah, they're a little funny. Remind me what question you just asked, though, because it just went like that.
Easy or difficult to write the spicy scene?
To write spicy.
Easier to... How can I forget that? Anyway, so I will be sitting there messaging to them, and I'll be like, I've been stuck in this sex scene for 3 days now. Someone help. Send help. And they're all like, do you need to get out your little figures? Like, do you need to do some positions? Are there stick figure drawings coming? Because we like those. And yeah, so occasionally, like I'll be writing and like I try and it's real hard when you've got 4 people in a scene like that to make sure that everything is where it should be and to make sure you're describing accurately what's happening. Right. Because mine do tend to be very descriptive in that manner. And if it's not right, then we get out the paper and pencil and we stick figure. And I also have one of my street team members sent me a whole bunch of those, like those little art. They're like little wood.
Yes, yeah.
That you can move for parts. She sent me a bunch of those so I can accurately position them.
Listen, I want you to know that you made my dream come true in the last book. I always want
Oh,
when there's 3 guys and a girl, I'm like, "Why
Mhm.
don't they just do this?" I mean, it was like
mhm.
just just a lineup, you know? That's what I'm saying.
You know what we call that in street team? We call that the sexy
I was oh
centipede.
god, because
I
you
was
were
gonna
making me think of
say
that
centipede.
nasty ass movie. I was like, "Please don't say it.
No,
Please
no,
don't
no.
say it."
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Sexy
Yeah.
centipede.
That was
That's what we'll
I
stick
wish
with.
more people whoops. I wish more people would do that. I think of that all the time. I'm like, "Come on."
Let's
Right.
go. Oh, you so gonna like the next 2 series.
I mean, I think when you're reading like a white shoes like that, that's you're always like waiting. It's like, when is the group scene gonna happen?
Yeah, I
Like, where
know.
is it at? Like, it's almost
Mhm.
kind of like,
And mine are typically you'll see it by the second book in a trilogy. And then we make sure we have at least one, if not 2 more in the third book. You usually don't see the full group in the first one just because I don't I don't like it when you read and they haven't
Oh,
established
yeah.
yeah,
relationships. I much prefer to see the relationships develop first. And sometimes, like, you don't see Archer with Elliot until, like, there's
some,
some
yeah.
stuff, but there's not actual
Mm.
until the third
You're
book
right.
with him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you didn't see canon with her
So,
technically until
right,
his
Yeah.
yeah.
book. Now I did change that up a little bit in the second
Mhm.
series, so don't be yelling at me when you see what
I was
happens.
actually,
But
I was excited when it was in the first book when Kingston and Elliot finally did it. I was like,
Mhm.
geez, thank you. Like, you
What
guys
do you
just need
Thank
it.
you.
You
Finally.
just need to do it. Like, just do it. You can tell that there's like,
Do it. You know you want to.
yeah,
Just get
just,
all that
yeah,
hate
like,
out.
just do
And he's like,
it.
"Thanks for the sex," or whatever he said, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, that one, I was just like, when he said that, I was just
but
like,
I understand why. I understand
Mhm.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, see, that's the example of there's always like a
Hmm.
reason, usually,
Yeah.
why they're like they are. I try real hard not to make it just being
Yeah.
mean, just to be
Yeah.
mean.
No.
No, I don't like that. There's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
And usually it's like with these, it's like a sad reason
Hmm.
too. So,
I understood where
like,
like Kingston was coming from, like how he was,
hmm
especially after that bathroom scene and how he was
hmm
like got douchey again, I guess. like I get it,
yes,
you know.
yes,
Um
yeah.
Yeah.
oh, so we're gonna put you on the spot again. I feel like
Last
this
time.
whole
Last
time we're like
Last time, okay.
maybe. Out of no,
Evil.
just kidding. Out of all your characters in your books, like who is your so we did already the MMC. Who is your favorite FMC, I guess?
Oh gosh. Okay, so that's hard. Um, First, I'll say, throwing it all the way back to Rosehaven Academy, Daphne is like my spirit animal. She's like a nerdy, Star Wars loving geek. So, like, I love her. She's very similar to how I was in high school, only like I didn't have a Micah in high school, unfortunately. Yeah. Whew. But if we're just talking Kingston University, because that's who most people know, again, Elliot is the most like me, but I really like the Lady Balls on Lennon.
Okay.
Okay.
Like she is something else. So She's nothing like
No?
Elliot. That
Okay.
is for darn sure. Yeah. And then Echo's even different than either one of them too, for reasons that I will not
All
disclose.
right. Yeah, we'll read about it.
Yeah, find out when you you'll find out when you get
And we'll be
there.
DMing you.
Mm-hmm. Feel free. I love, love, love hearing from people reading
I
books.
think Elliot kind
Yeah,
of is ballsy at times, like when I think
she
when
is.
she gets to that point where she's like, I just can't do it anymore. Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, even just showing up, can you imagine showing up
No.
on the steps of this fraternity house, walking in and acting like you belong there because you've got your little
invitation.
whatchamacallit.
Invitation? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
thanks, invitation. That word hard sometimes. You've got your invitation and and basically once you have that invitation, that means you are initiating and boom. And now what are they going to do with you?
Yeah. One, even
Yeah.
her punishment, like that
Hmm.
one too, is like, you know,
All them
she's like,
punishments.
whatever,
Yeah, there
I'll
were
just
a
do
couple
it.
of those. Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Now, so we talked about oh, sorry, what?
Oh no, you're fine. You good?
Oh, so we talked about future projects. You said you have a surprise coming. You have a
Hmm.
book coming out. What'd you say next week? Monday? Friday?
Monday. Yep, that's this one.
Okay. This is War.
Yep.
Anything else
Hmm.
you have scheduled or ah.
Um, so you might not know this, but I always purchase cover images
Oh,
first because they speak to me and they tell me a lot about characters. I do have, um, well, we have, and we almost have the cover ready for that secret
Woo!
project that's coming. Like I said, it's dark. You should probably see us start to tease that probably November or December. We keep promising ourselves because we have issues. um, trying to write other books and trying to write something else in tandem. Like I've done it before,
Right.
but it's not the easiest thing to do. Like I can switch gears pretty quickly, but like sometimes when I get all the words I need for the day, I'm kind of burnt out and it's like ah. So
that makes sense.
yeah. So like today I did like I don't know, like 1,800 words on the one, and then I did like 400 on the other, and like we're just slowly getting there. And the good news is I only have to write half of the
Right.
the other one.
Right.
So yeah. So beyond that, I'm undecided yet whether there will be more duets in the Evermore University series. I set it up so that I gave like the duet a name, the All's Fair duet. So like All's Fair and Love and War, ha ha ha. This is war, this is love. So I set it up like that so that I would have the duet, and then I could call the series Evermore University because I screwed up when I did the trilogies for Kingston University.
Okay.
I should have just said it was the Kingston University series and just went books 1 through 9. I didn't because I didn't know books 4 through 9 were going to happen. So
Right.
now I'm a little bit more strategic. And this way I can either write more duets in this series or not.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay.
My readers, the ARC readers, have looked and they seem to think that there is another duet here that is hiding. And I'm like, could be. I just have to figure out which of these awful characters it is. So
Uh-huh.
I've got to figure that out. And beyond that, before I would probably do anything with that, there is another trilogy that is in the works. It's actually what I meant to start in June, but I needed a break. So I thought I was going to write a standalone, and I screwed up and wrote a duet. So I haven't started it yet. Yeah, I was supposed to be like giving myself like an easy, oh, this will be so easy. And then I wrote This Is War, and it's easily the angstiest thing I've ever
Really?
written. And very, very difficult to write. Like it's very emotion driven. Um, yeah, it's just, and when there's three characters, you've always got like, especially with this, because I haven't mentioned, so it's enemies to lovers, it's friends to lovers, it's stepbrother.
Yes.
Like it's like there's in it, obviously. Like it just, and I would say it's a love triangle too that heads towards the
Okay.
because in the first book, it's really not a nice group yet. They're still, the stepbrothers are butting heads bad.
There's work to be done.
So there is much work to be done, and I am about a third of the way into the second book, and there's still work to be done. So I'm like, are we ever going to get those scenes that Marjorie clearly is going to need?
I need that.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I will seriously hurt myself if it turns into a trilogy and I have to adjust my covers. I will be so mad. So I really need to just finish it. Yeah, I'm one of those people, like when books are on the shelf and like you've got a little one, and then a big honking one. I'm like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, now it's going to be me. I'm going to do that. So anyways, but yes, there is a trilogy that I've had floating around in my head that I have been kind of thinking through. It was way too complex for me to start over the summer when I needed a brain break. So that I will start writing probably in December, I would think, because I'll be done with this one mid-November maybe. And then I'll get started on it. I can't tell you what it is yet. I can tell you my cover models are super hot again. And I enjoy looking at them. So yeah, so we're all ready with the covers, and they're starting to talk to me a little bit, which they weren't back in June. So now I'm like, uh-oh, they better shut up until I'm ready for them. I'm not ready yet.
Need to finish.
They made me wait in June, so now they are going to have to wait now before they start talking to me. But other than that, the only other thing that I would have on my agenda would be something else out of Evermore University. But I'm not sure what. And I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be an MM or why it couldn't be a Why Choose in the same university. So you just never know. I like doing different dynamics.
It'll be like a surprise.
It's fun.
You know.
That's right.
As you're edging us right now.
Right.
And then you'll be like, surprise.
I am so everybody, like, if you know me at all, I am the biggest tease ever, like huge tease. So like when I started doing a little bit of edging in the books, everybody was like, well, this is so you. Why hasn't this been in here before? And I'm like, well, I like it, so it'll keep going.
I feel like I mean, with this, since I'm still kind of reading it, the first one, it's like I'm being edged out a little bit for like the group scenes that I'm like looking for. So
It's worth it though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm like, I mean,
they're coming.
I mean,
don't worry.
Even just like the single or the threesomes, I guess they're already hot. Like,
yep.
I was like, okay, well, I need to like pause, do something else, and then come back to this thing. I think yesterday I was at my son's jujitsu, and while I was reading, it went to like a spicy scene. So I'm like, oh no, like it's getting good too, and I'm just like, I have to close my Kindle because then I'll be like blushing, and people will probably be like, what is she reading over there?
What is she reading?
So I was just like,
Bible.
Yeah, it always happens when I'm in public, like the good stuff, and I'm just like, come on, like you can't do this to me. It's just getting good. So, but I love it. I love. I was telling, I think Kolleen the other day, I was like, I haven't been wanting to read Why Choose lately, but your book, I was like, okay, now I can like read back to back this stuff. Like I'm good. I'm good to go. Like you got me back. It's always hard to find like good, like writers like you that would keep me going with a Why Choose. So
Yeah.
Yep. And sometimes you just not in the mood. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It happens with sometimes with different like genres that you read and you're like, all right, I need a break. But this was a good one.
Right now, the audio I've been listening to is from the Bridgerton series.
Oh,
Like that's nothing like what I write,
right, right.
and it helps me a little bit because I'm not like, it's not that like I don't critique other authors when I'm reading, but like if it's the same type of thing that I write, I'm like constantly, my little brain is working overtime thinking, oh, what's coming next? I bet this is what's about to
Yeah.
happen. Like this is like this would be typical, but like maybe they'll twist it this way. And so I start thinking about it, and I don't know. I make the reading process not as fun for myself.
Yeah.
So it's nice to sometimes just read something that's completely out of the genre that I usually write. Yeah.
Are there kind of like genres, subgenres, or like specific tropes that you haven't written yet that you would like to write in the
Oh
future?
my goodness. Well, I really need to write a stalker that's not a Beckham like stalker, because Beckham, he's he's like a nice guy stalker. Like I even have stickers that say, and it says it in the book somewhere. I can't remember which character said it. It was like, he's not your average stalker. And I have it on stickers. And yeah, it's pretty funny. Oh gosh, otherwise, oh, I really don't know. Like I'll try just about anything, honestly. Like I mean, I haven't done, with the exception of that little duet that I did in Rosehaven, I haven't done a straight MM book before. I might like to do that at some point. Would it still be dark? Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I like that. I tend to like that. I mean, makes things more difficult. Like otherwise, I think it's the same problem I was having with the small town stuff. Like I need those obstacles for them to overcome. I need like that angst, and like whether it's hating your stepbrother or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like I need that to get over. And like I even, as you've discovered, I even add an element of suspense like running through it as well. And that carries through all three trilogies. So like I do like a little suspense. I do like a little like who done it, like what the
Yeah.
heck's going on here. Um I like all that stuff. So I mean, I could see myself doing like romantic suspense, like straight romantic suspense someday too, but no time soon. I'm having too much fun with my white
Yeah.
shoes
Yeah.
at the moment.
No. I mean, I would say like the cliffhanger and Kingston. I was like,
I love a cliffhanger.
what? I was like, what?
Aren't you
I was
glad
just like,
they're all out?
yeah,
Can
you're
you
right.
imagine reading
No.
these as I'm putting them
Yeah.
out and then waiting 3 months in
Yeah.
between?
Yeah, because I was
Yep.
like, when I saw that, I was like, where's canon? Must read canon, because I was
Wait
just
a
like,
second. Where's the next
no. I
one?
was like,
Yep.
yeah.
And you at least have to read like the first chapter
Make
of the
sure.
next book. And that way you're like,
Right.
okay, okay, I can pause for a
Yeah.
second
No,
now.
I think
But
yeah.
yeah, imagine reading
I went
those with
straight
the
to
cliffhanger.
canon,
Oh,
and I think I read as soon as I finished Kingston, I went straight to canon. I think read 8 chapters before I like, okay, I can pause a little bit, because I was like, I need to like,
right in.
what's going on? I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, no, no, because I was like looking at how long I have left in the book. When
Uh-huh.
that part came out, I was like, please don't tell me it's gonna happen. Like she's gonna do the cliffhanger and
It's
this, and then I
coming.
read. I was like, yeah, she did. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
and you're right. I was like, it was like a 10 at night, and I'm like, no, I have to like read the other one. I have to read it. I can't not read.
Keep going.
I had to keep going. So.
Too funny.
Do you have any signings planned for 2025? And which ones?
I do. Fortunately, like I'm done with
Yeah.
2024. Two, those were actually my first two signings. Sinners and Stardust was my very first. And then I just did Simple signings in Roanoke this past weekend. And they were both great for different reasons. But yeah, I will be at the HEA one in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
It's, I guess, happily ever after something or other.
Mhm.
um, yeah, I'll be at that one. It's like the first week in June, I think. Um, and then I will be at Rock and Romance Reader. I think that's Knoxville, if I'm not mistaken, in August. And then I am not 100%, but I might return to Simple Signings just because it's an hour and 45 minutes down the
Oh,
road.
that's so
Yeah.
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I told I told Mr. Leila I was only doing 2 signings per year, but I think I could probably convince him that I could get down there and do that one pretty easily. He was a sad boy alone all weekend, but
Aw.
whatever.
Do you drive or do you fly for like the other ones? I know.
So, well, Boston was definitely that flight, and it about killed me. All the shipping of the pack, the
Oh.
books, and all that was just, and my banners actually got lost for 6 hours. Kingston and Bear almost did not make it with me. Roanoke, I drove, obviously, and I will actually drive Indianapolis and Knoxville. They're both like, they're within a long drive. And I just, after seeing how much easier it was on me not to have, it's stressful shipping books. I mean, you get stuff from Amazon and it's all jacked up, and
Oh, true.
like you don't want to take the risk of shipping it again and having it, or shipping direct from worse, shipping from Amazon to the hotel or wherever it's being held and having them messed up,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I get like 20%, 25% that are just bad. And then
That
I don't
stinks.
know what to do. And then I would have to ship them home,
Yeah.
and that's yucky. So yeah, so I'm excited to be able to drive to all 3 next year. Um, and then we'll see for 2026. I'm trying to think. Oh, I have one that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to. It's just not been announced yet,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
not supposed to say. I do have one of those, and I actually have one that I've applied to that I haven't heard back from as
Edging
well.
again.
So those would be my 2. So we'll see. But I would think I would be hearing about both of them fairly soon. But man, you have to like apply so
Yeah.
early. Um, just crazy
Right.
early to
It's
get
like
in.
what, 2024 and 2026, you're already planning for 2026.
Right. Well, there are signings like open like things for like 2027 already,
Wow.
2028.
What?
And I'm like, how am I supposed to know what I'm doing then?
Yeah, you
Like,
might like.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess they do it so that you commit to them first.
Makes sense.
But I get it, but I also think that's why you also see authors drop out of some of them, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I know readers are sad when we don't show up. I try not to do that. I haven't done it
Yeah.
yet.
Alright. I
So,
mean, I would agree with
yeah.
shipping because I did ship some books because apparently I just decided to like buy everybody's books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
Oh,
you did,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yeah, I mean,
You should have seen her
I know
stack.
because like I
she
came
got them
up
all,
and then
right?
she's like, "Oh, I know who you are."
Yes. Yeah, she's like, oh, my name's Marjorie. I have a pre-order. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
I was like,
This big bag right here full of
I know,
books.
like, if people are like, the girl that I was with, she's like, "Did you just order all of them?" I was like, "Yes." Have you read all of them?
Have you
Not
seen the
yet, but then
covers
this,
too?
but yeah, I was like, "Have you seen the covers? Like, they're all like hot covers, and this will like." I've been wanting to read her. Now I have them. Then I'm gonna read them. I was like,
Yeah.
and that's
The covers are definitely a selling point. Yeah, I attribute a lot of that series' success to, at the very least, the Kingston cover popping up and getting everybody hooked. And then, yeah, now everybody expects the hot dude covers from me. So like, I gotta just keep them
Yeah,
coming.
Lots of
So
pressure.
we're
yeah.
making it harder on you now because you're like, okay, who else have I not used yet?
Well, yeah, and like, I can't say that I would never use one again, simply because you think of it like an actor. They don't do one TV show and then they never do another TV show again. A lot of them just go and they do another. I would just make sure it had a different enough look that
Yeah.
it could become that
Right.
character too. Yeah.
It could happen.
I know some people who use the same character, and I don't know whether it's a single series, but I'm thinking of one in particular that I see the same guy on every single cover, and I'm like, well, kudos to you because he is hot.
Yeah.
But I think it's got to be the same character, and it's just a long running series, which maybe I should do that because then I could use my favorite like over and over and over again.
Maybe
Yeah.
like do novellas like short
great.
stories, like, hey, popping up just in case you forgot about me. Like, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know like you did like a special edition for Hawthorne Hall, right? And yeah, the
Omnibus.
omnibus.
Yeah.
That was like a surprise when I was like looking at it. I was like, oh, maybe I should have bought that because you know,
Mhm.
I did have like the.
Do you want me to show the cover?
You should. I mean, I showed her kind of like the picture, but it's different when you look at the cover.
Yeah. I still have all the books from the signing that came home with me. So, like, they're all down here on the floor. And I've just put them up on, like, in my Etsy shop because I was like, well, these things can't stay with me because they are thick.
Oh, wow.
Very thick. Of course, this is Brothers of Hawthorne Hall. So you've got the spine, but then we did Not Safe for Work art cover.
Stop. Oh my God.
I know.
I love it.
That'd be Archer and Kingston for
Yes.
you. And then on the back, we got Cannon and Elliot.
I need
I
that.
know. I'm like,
And look super close. Wait, look at her butt. There's a bite mark.
Oh,
yes.
I know. See, I didn't even see that when I was
Oh
looking
my
at
gosh.
that. Like, I was so distracted
Yeah,
by everything else.
The hilarious thing is obviously I saw Archer's suspenders on him and
Yeah.
on purpose I had the artist, her name is Samaya Beaumont, she's out of Chicago. I had her put him in his suspenders because I was like, that'll be totally hot. But I didn't even notice until much later that she had put Kingston's necklace with the arrow on it. And I was like, Maya, I don't know. I had given her specifics of what I wanted, and I guess I didn't notice. But yeah, so
So you said you're putting them up for sale soon?
they are
They
actually
are
on
on
Etsy
Etsy?
right
On
now.
Etsy?
If you yes, just double check because there are three or four different listings for them. One is like perfect copy, no because I did have some damage coming out of Boston coming back. So like I have perfect copies and then I have some minimally just like kind of dinged, like scrunched corner here and there that I've got just for a discount. And then I also have a couple that were pretty that I'm like, well, I don't know who wants these, but I took pictures of everything so you can see the kind of damage that's on some of them. But there's plenty of perfect copies right now still out there. And there also, there should be an international link too, because I have a couple of international readers that cry if I don't offer them internationally.
So
yeah, so those are up too.
Would you do the other 2 trilogies then, or are you going to do
series.
them too?
For sure. Yeah. We actually, the artwork that I have I have a piece of Samaya's artwork for the Sin Brothers already that looks like we could, because the way she does the drawings, I find it completely like interesting how art works these days when you do it like some of them are doing it like on their iPads and
Yeah.
whatnot, and she does it in layers so she can move pieces
Ah,
around, and so we're going to need her to move the two because I've got it split, Wilder and Royal, Beckham and Echo. And so we're just going to kind of slide them apart a little bit and leave something in the middle for the spine. And then that one should be pretty easy to do. But then this fall, she's doing something for the Bastards for me. Because I do have artwork from her for the Bastards, but I don't think it would work as well as a cover. So we're just going to have her do an all new piece of artwork because we like that. So yeah, but I would expect those. I'll probably have them at the signing in June. And then typically what I've been doing, like you can only get them at signings until I'm completely done with signings. And then I do put them up on Etsy.
Okay.
cool.
So
So we'll wait
yeah,
after you
that's
do
just,
the third,
yeah,
maybe third one.
yeah.
I get to see that you too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. But they are thick boys, man. It's literally, it looks like a
Yeah.
dictionary
Well,
to
I
me.
was gonna
Like, I'm
buy
like,
it
wow.
when I was there, but then I was like, "Ah, I'm gonna ship all of this stuff. Like, thankfully, like
Yeah.
my copies of yours, I um check it like a check bag, because the ones that I
Yeah.
shipped, some of them got like dinged, but I
Oh
put them in like
no.
my crate, and then we literally,
Mhm.
so it wouldn't move. But I don't know how they were like lugging it around.
Yeah.
The crate fell apart
Yeah.
inside it, so the books were like
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm just like,
Oh
I was
man.
like,
Yeah. That's so
I know. I was
sad.
just like looking. I was like, thank God it's not the ones that I really, really like. I I put
Uh,
them. I mean, I love all of them. It was just like I can't
yeah.
bring all of it. So
No, it just hurts
yeah,
though. Anytime you
Of
like,
course, yeah.
I love
right.
books and I don't like it when Amazon ships me stuff and it's like, what, why are you putting it in an envelope? It's just going to get banged up on the corners. And you got to know that that's not what people want. I have not figured out why sometimes they pack really well and sometimes they don't. And then like my boxes of books, they were super heavy because of the omnibus. Like I had a 50-pound box and you know that they dropped it on one of the corners
Yeah.
because on that side every single book had like a little like ding. And it's not bad for most of them. I would say about 12 of them, like a dozen, were pretty not
Yeah.
nice, but it's unfortunate. But maybe somebody who doesn't want to pay the full price for the super pretty
Right.
copy.
I will pay full
And
price
they
because
get it for less
yeah.
because it's still, the artwork is still
Mhm.
Oh,
gorgeous,
it
and
is. Yeah.
it's not,
It is.
yeah,
Well, I was telling her, I was like, I have the actual like the art, like the card for it because it was included. I
yeah,
was like,
but
yeah,
mhm.
but I didn't realize that that was what you were gonna use for the when I was looking at the pre-order. There was no pictures. I was like, I'm just gonna wait until I see it. But
Right.
then I was like, I can't bring all of this home.
Yeah, that's because it didn't get done until the middle of July,
Ah,
and then I had to have them printed and shipped.
oh,
That was
right.
scary. I won't do that again. We're going to make sure we ship way in advance this time because I don't want to go through
It's
that
probably like
again. That was my
stressful.
first. It was, and the thing is, like, I'm one of those hands-on people. I didn't have a PA until like I would say at least 3 years in,
Mm.
and like I like I trust Savannah with everything, but like it's always been very hard for me to like hand
Mm.
something to somebody. So like for something like a cover, when I have to wait for the artwork to be done and then we have to try to get the cover design done. And Shauna did the cover design on it, and we sat there together and we got everything just perfect. And but like neither of us had really done a lot of hardbacks
Oh.
before, so we were like, oh gosh. how is this going to go?
Yeah.
But we used 48-hour books, and they were really nice. They helped us a
Mhm.
lot with specifics, and they were like, they'd like look and they're like, oh, this is a little off center. You need to tweak that just a bit. And it was pretty cool. It's an interesting process, a process that I never thought I would ever be a part of, but I really like that. I love the cover design. I wish I could design covers because I think it's really cool. But like I watch some people, like I've seen a couple of different people do like those time lapse
Mhm.
videos of themselves like arranging things on covers and like adding shadows. And I'm like, how do you do that? I wish I could do that because then I could do everything, right? But,
Right.
But then you're gonna have to like clone yourself. You're gonna be like so busy.
right. See, and that was the problem, and that was the problem why I couldn't maintain the two pen names either. It's just too much,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I wish I had another me. We could get a lot done,
You could both have those both pen names, and then
right? Then we can have one
okay.
of each.
Yeah.
But no, no, no.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, that brings us to the end. I think we have put you through enough. I'm just kidding. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for meeting with us. We've been looking forward to this interview for a little while now, so we appreciate you making the time for us.
Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's been a lot of fun. I
Yes.
was just to say, I looked up. I was like, "Oh gosh, it's 9:30.
Yeah,
That
it
went
didn't
fast."
happen. It just like goes by.
Yeah.
We get into chatting, and we tried to only put you on the spot a little bit.
It was all fine, all things that I knew the answers to. So hey, sometimes you just have to admit who your favorites are.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
it's all good.
I know there are
Um,
authors that's like, oh, I can't do that. Like, just like,
yeah,
Yeah, it's a little like choosing among your
right.
children, but like you do always have some favorites, I
yeah,
think, and
agreed.
just depends on the
Mhm.
book. And yep.
No. Okay, be sure to follow us on our socials and make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any new episodes. If you have any authors you would like to see on our next podcast, you can DM us on Instagram or TikTok. Well, that's all. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.